Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off, online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, and with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we are joined by a very special guest, former junior and college hockey goaltender Metzie. Metzie played Division III college hockey for a stint and is currently trying to work his way into the pro game. He has also spent time in juniors in Canada over the course of the last 2 years, had a stint in the BCHL, also played in the USPHL, among some other leagues. So this is going to be a really fun episode and a long episode in the making. So welcome to the show, Metzie.
Thanks, buddy. How's it going?
It's going good. Can't complain. Living the dream, Everything's going well so far. How about you?
Good, man. Everything's all right. Life could always be a little worse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Busy though, but we're making the most out of it.
Exactly. Well, thanks for the introduction. Appreciate it. I actually have not played a Division III game yet. I just aged out of junior last year, so I'm working my way back up to college hockey. But
yeah. You did play an exhibition game though, right?
Yes. Yeah. Exhibition game. Up in where things didn't go my way for injury wise, but it is what it is. So I'm glad to be on. So thanks for having me out.
Yeah, no problem. So can you give like our viewers like a little background information on yourself, like what got you into the game of hockey and like what youth hockey was like for you growing up?
Yeah, for sure. So I started hockey late than others, actually. I started skating when I was about 10, and I played organized hockey the following year. I was a forward. That's first, and I sucked. I remember a coach had to tape. He taped my hands to the stick because I was always hold the stick with one hand, right? So, and I would always watch the goalie in practice and just try to imitate him. And then the following year, I switched to being a goaltender. So organized hockey, played local minor hockey here till I was in midget. I never played like AAA hockey or AA hockey growing up. It was always single A. I was a fat, chubby kid. At peak, I was like 230 pounds at 5'10", so it's not a good look. It's a baby blue whale out there. But so after that, I left to Notre Dame out in Wilcox, Saskatchewan. So it's like the Shattuck St. Mary's of Canada. So it was a good time to grow up and mature and play hockey with a lot of great guys. So played hockey there, and then played a season of junior B hockey. After that, we had a stint in the MJ. The following season, had a stint in the BC. Ended up in the USPHL with Wisconsin. And the following year, I was I started off tier 2 in Canada, where the coach actually, he's in jail right now, I believe. He
Interesting.
yeah, it was really interesting. Yeah,
That's
it's
fucked.
kind of yeah. So, but so after that, I left that team and came back home. And it was COVID year, so in Canada, there's a bunch of puppets running the government, so they shut everything down here. So I was looking for a team. So my buddy had a USPHL team. We weren't any good. I mean, we were second last place all year, but it was a place to play, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a place to play and you're playing, so it's all that really
exactly,
matters.
100%. So I went down to Rochester, Minnesota, and played a season there. So it was fun. Um, we lived in an apartment with a bunch of boys, so that was an experience too. So yeah, it was all fun time, right? Junior hockey,
Oh
living
yeah.
life with there's no responsibilities, no nothing, right? Wake up, go play hockey, and work out. That's about it.
Yeah, hockey and working out, that's all there is to it, and that's the life you want to live, not go to
Exactly.
school or anything like that and have like all those responsibilities, but just have hockey and working out. That's the life right there.
Right on. Yeah, exactly. Can't complain.
Y-
Um, so yeah, after that, I actually didn't have a college commitment. I hired an advisor, so we got talking to a couple of colleges, a few Division 3 colleges, but there's nothing really just set in stone for. Um, it was like my team was, we were bad as a group, um, just in general for skill wise. I mean, we were a really young team. We were good
Yeah,
skill wise, but it was just a young team, and I was actually fortunate enough to be named captain of that team. So, but
you don't
just
hear that very often.
no, you don't. But average game you face 50 shots, and in the game you do face 20 shots, 10 of them are breakaways, right? So it's just so. I remember one game within the first 5 minutes of the game, I had three on or 2-0s. So
Wow.
on the
Where
third one, I kept,
defense is non-existent there.
yeah, no, exactly. So, but you can't really blame them too, right? First year, second year junior players, so they got a lot
Yeah.
of growing up to do. 18, 17, 18-year-olds. But that's when I'm not sure if you saw that video where I chucked the net off. And yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a game. There's only so much you can take at times, right? But
Yeah, did you just
like
throw it off? Or were you about to face like a 3-on-0 or something like that, and you just threw the net off? Like what happened there?
right, it was like a 2-0, and for the past two plays, these guys, I saved the first. The first one they scored on. The second one I saved, and the third one was just like I had enough of this, so I just turned around and chucked it. Um, but you have to save the penalty shot on that, otherwise you look like a big dork.
Did
Right,
you?
and
So obviously you saved the penalty shot, right?
right, yeah, right. So that's actually probably one of my strong suits in the game is breakaways, um, or
So you're not
shootouts.
afraid to
So
take that risk and go in for the penalty shot.
no, no, I'm confident in that because I do like to poke check. So you just got to manage your depth control or whatever, right? So you guys,
Yeah.
you know how it is as a goaltender. So if you give the player too much room, he's going to go left or right, and if you back up too quickly, he's going to shoot, right? So you just got to manage that. And I love to poke check, so players don't usually expect that. So and then when they
Yeah,
do
but
start
but
picking,
you missed the poke check in. It's pretty much an automatic goal at that point.
right? So that's why when you do poke check and they start picking up on it, you just do a fake pokey. And I've seen so many guys just lose handle of puck, But so yeah, then I found a college team up here in Canada. Went there. It didn't work out. There's about three guys there at the time, and played. There's an exhibition game I dressed for, and the coach brought in. Well, in Canada, it's different. Where if you play pro hockey, you can play college hockey again.
Yeah.
You can come back to play college and like the NCAA. And so he brought in a goalie from the SPHL. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall after that, and so I left that, came home, and just looking for a spot for next year. I'm talking to a couple colleges in the U.S., and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. Well, good luck with that journey
Thanks, buddy.
to college hockey, and see where it takes you, because it's an interesting path no matter what.
For sure. No, it is. It's not definitely where I want to be hockey wise right now. I mean,
Yeah,
but again, it's giving me the opportunity to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of just um, hockey's all about having fun, and sometimes you get too serious and too wound up in it, right?
yeah,
So you picking up beer league, filling out for a team here is just it showed me that it's about having fun and relaxing, and so yeah. And then I
yeah.
did I had a lingering hip injury that started a couple of years ago, and I kind of left it on the back burner for I would just roll it out, and it'd feel better, and then to get tight again. And this summer, I'm fortunate enough and blessed to skate with like local NHL guys here in Canada over summer. So like Matt Purcell and Ryan Nugent Hopkins and all those guys have trained. They're from Vancouver, so I skated every single day, for the month of July and August, Monday to Friday, and that really tore down the hips, and which was probably a mistake. But how could you say no when you're skating with like
Yeah.
Barzi and whatever Connor Bedard's out there, and I mean that kid is just he's a legit. So regardless, yeah, so I had a hip injury and pulled the hip, and it was just not good. So I took some time off, ice rehabbing and whatever, and first skate back. One of the first skates back, I dislocated my shoulder. So
Oh.
that was a
Get
tough
down with
one,
one injury and then re-injure
right?
or injure
Re-injure,
something else.
exactly. So it's but we're slowly getting back into it. I had two skates since that dislocation, so starting to feel somewhat normal, but it's
Yeah,
just still not at the peak.
yeah, absolutely. And just like what was like the process like with the hip injury to like help yourself like recover from that injury? Because that's a pretty big injury, especially like
All
since
right.
goaltending has everything to do with the hips, and and when you go down in the butterfly, it's not a normal position, so that takes a
No,
lot on your hips and butterfly,
it's just
like everything. So like what was the process like to get back into the game?
well, as the human body's not made to move like a goaltender is,
Yeah,
right? So it's very. It's I wish I knew this earlier. All the stuff I know now about rehabbing and whatnot and keeping up with your body. But fortunately, I didn't need surgery, which was a blessing. So,
that's a big
uh,
plus.
right, a huge plus, because otherwise that would have been, it could have been. But when I did go to the physiotherapist, she's like, if you kept this up or whatever, I mean, you would have you wouldn't be able to play hockey no more. It's just, it's just over time the tissue just gets torn, right? So,
Yeah,
um, and even now walking, it's getting better, but even walking, I could be walking fine, and then all of a sudden just stop dead in the tracks because it's just the hip pain's just it's too much, right? And so I have followed somewhat of DK. I know you had him out, so DK
yeah.
Mobility's hip stuff, and there's a Maria
His
Mountain
stuff works wonders.
does it. I haven't bought his program, but I've seen his couple of his hip stuff in Maria Mountain. I use her program too, so uh, there's there's that, and going to the physiotherapist regularly, and that's helped a lot too. And Ice Fast is actually a huge bonus because that reduces inflammation a lot. It's tough to start, but
Yeah,
they're huge. Yeah,
yeah. It's at least you're in that recovery phase, or pretty much done with that recovery phase, and just got to work
right,
on getting the hips mobile again, and just getting into the butterfly position, all that.
right, exactly. And uh, I'm hoping that we can make this through, and I'm sure we can. You just got to put in the work. But it's
Yeah,
I like to run lots too, and I don't know. Usually it's contradicting to run long distance and play hockey at the same time, right? Because we're not built for.
yeah,
But so I usually have my trainers harp on me for that. But so I recently haven't really done long distance running, but you know I haven't run over 10 kilometers or 13, 15's the max. But
yeah.
hip can keep up with that. So I think we're in the right direction.
Hey, that's a plus. That's one thing going for you. You just gotta get the next
Right.
thing, and then keep going from there, and just keep working that hip, and don't stop their physical therapy and all that, and just keep stretching out your hip, because that's all you can do at that point.
Right. So how's I know you're a cross country runner, right?
Yeah.
So how do you find that while playing hockey? Does
I
it help?
I think I honestly think it helps, because
Yeah,
because running long distance helps with endurance, and you get
that's
a lot of endurance. So when I'm on the ice, doesn't matter how long I'm out there, I'm still able to keep up with the game and not get tired. And so I honestly think it helps. I only
that's
run
exactly
probably 4 to 5 miles average right now. So that's the perfect mix right now
right.
of just staying in shape, and really good shape, and having that good endurance as well.
Right. I, you batted the nail on the head right there. It's just I find it that it helps with endurance too. Like over summer when we're training and we got a bike test or something, right? And you got to bike 5 miles and
Yeah.
under whatever with the thing. So, uh, I'm one of the and you're I was beside NHL guys and finishing with times that some of the fittest NHL guys are doing, and I'm not the fittest guy around, right? But it definitely helps when you have a tank for endurance and running uphill and for yourself. Um, yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. And I could definitely notice when I stop running for a week break, I can definitely notice it on the ice as well.
Oh,
You'll just
dude,
get tired quicker, but when I'm running every day,
right.
that's when the endurance is top notch, and I can go on for days if I wanted to.
I was hurting bad this not last week, but the week after. It was one of my first skates, or my first skate back from the
Yeah.
shoulder injury. And, so skating back on the routine. Was it 2 minutes into it? I was just on one knee, and this is a game, barely a game I was filling in for, right? So when puck was down there, I was grasping for air, right? But it's kind of surprising when you're not in the routine how quickly and far back you can fall behind. But the beauty of it is that you can climb back up pretty quick too, right? Once you just stick with
Once you put your mind to it, that's
right,
the perfect time to get back to it, and get your body feeling really good, and get yourself in shape as much as you can, and you'll definitely see the benefits on the ice as well.
oh for sure, yeah, yeah. No, it's good. I do like me being at one point about 230 pounds while playing hockey, so working out's huge for me. I gain weight fairly easily, so if I don't keep up with the regimen,
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps with goaltending too when you're working out and lifting the weights, because it all transfers on the ice if you're doing it right.
right. The thing that I at this point that I'm battling right now is walking into the gym, and my trainer goes, he's actually a top-notch guy. He runs precision hockey development, so
Yeah.
he's legit. He's legit. Like the stuff that he's doing is, Gary Roberts,
Yeah.
who trains all those NHL. So he's doing stuff like Gary Roberts is, and same results, but it's like a fraction of the price. And I mean, for the summer, he doesn't even charge me anymore. But he's a legit dude. But he harps on me because as a goaltender, you're not supposed to be benching heavy weights, or it's just 135 and just for speed, right? Because that's what you're
Yeah.
trying to do. So it's sometimes hard when you get to the gym and you see other guys lifting 225 and you put 225 on them and you go for it, and it's just like, and he's on there and then you choose your butt out, right? So
Yeah.
but
It's
but
all
it's
about speed at the goaltending position, just being able to be explosive. So you don't really
right,
have to go heavy. You just got to go light and do a lot of reps, do it fast, and just get on out of there. Do your work and
exactly,
get on out.
100% right. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So how's men's league for you? Because that's a whole different breed of hockey.
you know what? At first, I didn't like it. Um, it was just it's just it's competitive. Because I guess it's a decent level that we're at. Where my team's at right now, but
You
It's
always got those weirdos that think they can fight everyone too.
oh,
Those
dude, oh,
midnight
dude,
games,
don't
and
even.
everyone's just
There's
trying to
so
fight.
there's so many mutts out there that think that they're like playing the Stanley Cup. It's just I had this one guy. This is the game actually I dislocated my shoulder. It's funny, chirping back and forth all game, right? And it's just in round three. It's if you team gets a penalty, it's a penalty shot. So
Yeah,
I dislocated my shoulder on the penalty shot, reaching for a glove save, which is whatever. So, um, and another thing I should have known better from this hip injury and whatever is warming up before games. You know how beer league is; they don't, you don't
yeah.
warm up, right? So,
I gotta do this.
but
I gotta do a warm up every single time I get on the ice.
right, which I should have done there, but yeah, I showed up like 5 minutes to the game too, right? And it's just so, whatever. So we get this guy's just chirping me on, and I can, I can hang with the best of them for chirping. So I'm,
Yeah,
I like pride myself in that. Like, so it's not too bad. So this guy's just chirping and giving it to me, and I also like, your defenseman's behind the net trying to skate up or wheel or whatever he's trying to do, break out. Uh, the guys usually like to stand on top of your crease, so I like to face out,
yeah.
like stand them up a bit, right? And well, this guy just gives me a shot right to the chest. I give it right back to him, and we're going back and forth all game. And if they're in front of me, I'm not a tall goalie, I'm 5'10", right? So
Yeah,
giving them a stick to the shins or low back, or the occasional love tap to the jock area, right, to the love sack, but
yeah.
nothing too major that the kid's down or guy's down on his knees. But um, this guy just turned around and just started giving to me, just absolutely ripping into me. And so I turned around and I'm like, buddy, you're paying to be here, and I got asked to be here, like stay in your boots, right? And it's just, you should have seen the look on this guy's face. It was just, but
He's
yeah, no,
probably like, you didn't have to pay for this.
there's a there's a lot of mutts out there that think that they're our last game just got I guess you can see a decent goaltender in beer league when you see one, just on warm up skating
Yeah,
around. So they have this one goon on, it's just absolute idiot, and no visor, no nothing, 250 pounds, 6'2", overweight, and decent hockey player. I mean, he had decent hands for a beer league guy.
yeah.
Maybe a minute into the game, pucks in our zone, pucks behind the net, runs me over, like skates and just body checks me, runs it. So I fall back. Luckily, I didn't get hurt too bad, and um, I get up and obviously to get a penalty shot, we score. Well, a minute later, another guy does the same thing to me, runs me over again. So our team's obviously the first time they were heated too, and they got heated this time too. And that's just what started the whole game, just back and forth slashes. Our guy, after our guy, their guy ran me over the second time. He had the puck, so he took a slap shot or just a wrist shot and wired it right at the goalie. Right, so their team didn't like it, and the ref got. I've never seen a ref ever do this. He took the puck, chucked it against boards, and he skated off. Right, threw his helmet, and it was a sight to see. Well, the funniest part is, literally like 30 seconds later, he comes back on the ice. Are you guys ready to play yet? Right, and I guess he just needed a breather. so, so
You need to
referee rage quit.
grab a drink of water and then cool off a
Right,
little bit.
right. So never seen a referee rage quit like for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or whatever. So he was back at it, and so the guys cooled down. We thought everything was okay. So then, there's about 2 minutes left into the game, and one of our guy yells, "Hey, buddy, do you still, the chirping is still going back and forth all game." So then he gives him, he's like, "Buddy, do you live in your mom's basement or something, right? Something stupid like that." So the guy and my buddy's on the bench, and he skates. This defenseman turns around and starts punching him on the bench. Well, after that, all the line brawl, bench is cleared, line brawl. I go challenge the goalie for a fight. Their players don't like it. So this number 10 comes out of nowhere, and I'm looking one way, and he comes and he just square right to the jaw, just punches me. Right?
Blindsides you.
Exactly, just blindsides me, and then I was so dumbfounded, right? Like what even happened? So it didn't hurt or nothing. I mean, whatever. It was just a soft punch. I'm sure my grandma could punch harder, but so and then our guys obviously go at him and take him down or whatever. And so bench is cleared. The other referee from the other rink had to come over and help out, and the front desk and had to break it up. So this goes on for a few minutes, and punches swinging everywhere. And finally, when they finally had everything under control, the number 10 comes over to me. He's like, "Sorry, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to punch you." Well, he grabs him by the helmet right here. Like, "Sorry, man." And then he's like, "Unless you want to go again," right? And then he takes my helmet off, and it's just like, he was just a total dork. Yeah, it was not cool. And then at the end of it, to top it off, he points at me from across the ice. "It's you, that guy in the blue. He started it all." I was like, wow, total mud. Yeah,
I don't think you started it. He's the one who punched you.
Right. It was a complete. He had IQ of a 7. I mean, it just combined 7. I mean, I would be embarrassed to be that guy's child. Jeez.
Some of these guys think they're so tough, and then when it actually like comes down to it, like a lot of them either do something or they skate away.
Right.
Like I've had plenty of times where it's like guys are trying to wheel behind the net, and like I'm staying like in front of the crease, like just giving my team some space.
Right.
He's like, "What are you gonna do, goalie?" And I'm like, "Dude, like I'm just playing the game. I'm just playing the position. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you wasting your time chirping out of something stupid?"
Right. Exactly. And usually when they're like, I like to, the simplest chirp that I think that ticks most people off is, "You suck at hockey. Like, what are you even doing out here?" It just, even beer leaguers just sets them off so much. And 3-on-3, we're playing on a smaller rink, so it's like,
Yeah.
you can be louder and they can hear you in the board. So if they mess up the pass or whatever, I just like to give it to them. Yeah, it just keeps it fun, right? Keeps it entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
I've only had one guy. I've never chirping that he ends up scoring, and this guy was. I would say he was standing backdoor and got like a backdoor feed in, but this guy, I've never seen a guy celebrate so hard. I mean, his jaw dropped to this that he finally scored, but whatever.
Oh, I've had something similar. It was like a tap in, like tic-tac-toe play, like tap in.
Right.
And like he taps it in and then like celebrates hard and says, "You suck," to me.
Right.
I was like, "Buddy, it's a tap in. Like you're just in the luckiest spot right now. You're just in the one spot the puck goes to, and then you manage to say you suck."
Right.
And then like I get up and like go towards him, throw a blocker a little bit, and then he throws like a flying elbow at me as the ref gets in between us. So it's like, you're gonna protect yourself by throwing an elbow when the ref's between us. And I was like, dude, that's pretty cheap. And then he scores again because it gets deflected twice, hits him in the head and goes in, and he celebrates so hard. Dude, you just got lucky. And that's the day I blew out my hamstring that day too, a little bit.
No.
So I was playing literally half that game with a pulled hamstring. So I was like, buddy, you guys barely won and I have a pulled hamstring right now. Like, you're not special.
And the thing that I find the most intriguing about these guys is so-called Tommy tough guys. They're the guys with the cages talk the most, right?
Yeah.
It's just reason they know that they can't get clocked, right? And it's just like, "Do you want to go? Do you want to go?" And it's just like, yeah,
take a cage off and then we'll go.
Right.
But they won't take the cage off.
Do you need a couple minutes? Like, take the whole concussion or cage off. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting breed, men's league hockey.
It is. There's a mix of them. There's a couple good guys that that I like to talk to, and it's you have good conversation with them throughout the game and make a save or whatever, and it's whatever, and between plays talk. But then there's other just complete morons who think that they're still in their prime. Most of them, the ticked off guys are like the 40-year-old and unhappy marriages that,
Yeah.
or whatever, and let their anger out, but it is what it is.
The best chirps that like will get guys going is I've done more with my hockey career than you ever have, and I'm 21 already.
That's a good one.
When I tell guys that, they shut up.
That's all right.
Yeah, they don't like when I say that.
I haven't used that one yet. Actually,
You should.
That's a good one. Yeah,
That's a new one to add to the list.
there we go. Right on. Yeah, no, guys they're just complete morons.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any good stories of juniors like that where guys are just trying to give it to you and you give it back to them?
Yeah, I posted actually a TikTok on it on fucking say. That kind of blew up. We were in Steele County, and I gave the guy a love tap, just a little tap to the whatever back, and it was going on all game, and this guy was like over 6 feet, so looking around him is kind of hard, right? So
Yeah.
you got to do something to get your advantage, and so it was the third period. I gave just a gentle one to his nuts, right? Nothing major, just a little like, hey buddy, I'm behind you, just get out of my way.
Yeah.
And he turns out, thank goodness it didn't hit me right in the love maker, but it was just, he hit me right in the thigh, and he just speared me, or turned around and speared me. And but for chirping wise, there hasn't been too much. I mean, you chirp, but it's a little harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, nothing that I can really think on top of my head. I mean, there's always that little, back and forth that you always have with guys, but nothing like there's in beer league.
Nothing like beer league. That's for sure. Yeah,
do you have any?
I do not. Just like the chirps after I like give a guy like a little slash in the back of the leg, like when they're in my crease, making them know that I'm there and get out of my crease. Or if they're still in there, they'll like probably to the lower back area, like a blocker shot. And then at that point, they usually turn around and give me a slash, or they try to grab you and you grab them. And so I have more penalties as a goalie than I ever did as a forward.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and it's just because like either like it's mainly just roughing penalties because they'll just like go at you after that, and like I'll like grab them and go at them, and just like nothing major, just little small things like that, because they get annoyed that even though they're in your crease, and the refs sometimes yell at me for it too, and it's like they're in my crease and I'm 5'10", so like I'm not the biggest guy. So, and there's like 6 guys that are like 6'3", 6'4", trying to block my way. So I'm gonna get them out of my way so I can actually see the puck. And refs don't usually like that, and they just at least they give both of us a penalty. But there's been times where I've just gotten the penalty too. So, but it just depends on the ref, honestly.
So we actually, I just remembered one incident. This is in Spooner, Wisconsin. So it's like in the team that plays in the SIJHL. So we were there last year, and I didn't play that game because we had 3 goalies. Actually, no, in Rochester we had 4 goalies. Me and the other guy, one of the other guy, Christo, he actually just aged out a junior this year. He played in the NA3 this past season, but we would switch games back and forth. He would start, but we would never back up a game. So rarely was I ever on the bench except for playoffs. So they would put the other 2. Actually, no, we had 5 goalies. So we had 5 goalies, and practice was a gong show. But sometimes in practice it would just be me and him sharing one net on one side and 3 on the other side. But so it was one kid's birthday or whatever. I think it was Crystal. Crystal was playing. So I was not backing up. So I was up in the stands. Health bombed. Right. As a 21-year-old, jeez, but whatever. this one guy, my teammate Isaac, he fights and gets kicked out of the game. So we obviously go up and stand up in the stanchions together.
Yeah.
And we look over and these other guys for the Moose are right beside us and not too far. And we're obviously chirping down there at their team and they're chirping at us. And we were in that goalie's piece in that extension. You can go and stand like right behind the goalie, right?
Yeah.
And just absolutely rip into him, right? So I was giving it to him all game. And we were down by 1 goal. And we scored with like 5 seconds left. Right through his 5-0 too, right? And picture perfect goal. So you can imagine we're just up there, just absolutely ripping into this guy, right? Closer 5-0, buddy. And he only played 3 games all season. So we're telling like, you know, you're only here because your daddy's got money, right? Daddy's money playing, right? Just absolutely lighting him out. And so him letting that goal was not, you know, something like his most proud moment ever either. But so these guys on their team acting like bullies come up and they just start ripping into us too. So when we're ripping into it, and it was cold in that rink, so you know, I didn't have I was just in my suit, so I didn't have my winter jacket on, and or a coat jacket on, and so I was kind of a little shivering a little, and so it was like, kid you not, it's probably like 34, 35 degrees in that rink, like cold, right? So it's just like when you're in a thin suit, so it's nothing. So and so we just started ripping into each other, and you know, you suck, and it actually carried on to the next game when I played too with that one guy, number 5, and it kind of sucked because I got yanked within the first 3 minutes of the game, but
not a good look.
Not a good look. No, not a good look. But and it's funny because that was a game that actually Michigan State was watching. So I don't know if it was just in the head or whatever, but yeah. So that was probably the only moment that we kind of where it got really heated. I know in Wisconsin. Oh, actually, you know what? I got a great story from Rum River and so it's just, again, we're up in the stanchions, and Rum River is like it's like another redneck town, which is awesome, right? I love the country, so and so again, there are stanchions up here, and we're right up here. And there's actually a girl that somebody met online, you know, swiping or whatever on or whatever. So she came to the game, catfished hard. I mean, you know, this is like on the picture, she looked decent in real life, and so she never walked to us, but she was at the game, so she kind of was keeping her distance far, and you can just see she was just beat up, right? So it's actually funny. I had another teammate of mine who we didn't know, and he's like, "Do you see that? That girl is like beat up pretty." And I was like, "I guess so." All right. I mean, I got nothing against whatever. So to each their own. And well, it turns out as the game goes on, at least nobody's interacting with her, so she ends up leaving to the car. She sends this guy a snap, and it's a bunch of cocaine, and it's like, "Do you want some?" All right.
What
and
the
it's just
fuck?
like, right. It was just like one of those things. So that game is probably one of the most, because we also got it with the guys. Wisconsin is one of the top teams, as you know, and so we would, you know, every game we would win, and the fans don't particularly care for that. So when you're up in the stands dressed up in your suit and tie, and you know the fans know you're part of the other team, right? So we're just in these redneck towns and small country towns. The best part about it is the whole town comes out, and it's like a Friday night, Saturday night. You have the beer garden going, right? So there's a guy there up there drinking beers and, you know, getting hammered at it. So, you know, just it's so much fun. Just when you start chirping those guys, you know how drunk guys are chirping back, and it's just like the classic chirp that I like is you're 40 drunk at a junior game, like, what's wrong with your life, right? And just give it to him. And so that was another moment where we got in with the fans.
And chirping's the best when especially in junior hockey.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, junior. I mean, I don't really have any on ice moments where I was tripping the guys where it turned. I mean, there's obviously those one liners or whatever, like I
Yeah.
startle guys or whatever, right? But nothing major where it turned out into like a fight. But with fans, I remember also my first game back in Wisconsin when I was playing for Rochester. I mean, you can just imagine the second last place team playing against the first place team. You already know what the outcome is, right? So we weren't doing too good. And again, these rinks are built where the guys are standing right above you.
Yeah.
And just ripping into me. So I turn over and I splash water at them, right, or whatever, just get them going. And probably not the smartest thing to do, but and they start beaking back, and so that's probably
you're putting on a show.
Right, you got to put on a show. Even if you're losing, you got to put on a show. And
yeah, exactly.
The most wild place for an opposing goaltender to play in a barn that I've played in would be, I'm not sure if you heard of the team OCN.
Yeah.
Blizzard. So it's their home rink out in Manitoba, and it's that again is like a First Nations reserve type area.
Yeah.
And so they're again, this is the only rink in Canada where I've known where the fans can sit like right on top of you. Like, so it's not like, like most of these rinks are built where the fans are like behind you, but this rink is built where they're like almost legit like right on top of you.
Yeah.
And these fans, they get wild. Like they're in one every night. So there's guys spitting on opposing goalies and like throwing beer cans at them, and so it's usually a rough night for the opposing goalie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's rough. But it's like you live for those moments in juniors, and
for
then
sure,
when you get out of juniors, it's like you realize how like dumb some of those things were, and like you're like, wow,
right.
like that's what went on in junior hockey.
Right. I mean, when we finished the OCN game, me and my buddy were walking out, and we saw that again. They did something, and I took my water bottle and sprayed it at them, right?
Yeah.
But we were walking out together, and we spotted one of the guys that was heckling up there. He's acting like a total tough guy, right? So we walk up to him, and we're like, "So what was your problem?" Like, you can say it to her face now, right? He's like, "You get any closer, I'm calling cops on you guys." He's like, they're such like keyboard warriors,
Easy,
but in
buddy.
real life,
Easy.
right, easy, exactly. It's like as a definition of a keyboard warrior, like in real life, it's just like, what are your fucking believe?
Yeah, and it's just like those are some funny moments that you live for in juniors. But I know we both got to get going here soon, so I have one more question for you. So what's your favorite pump up song? Like you're DJing the boys, like you're listening to this before pregame warm-ups, like what are you listening to?
Oh, you gotta go Young Gravy. That's a good song. Or what's that? Big Booty Mix on SoundCloud. You can't go wrong with those two.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with any of those.
No, but I'm a huge country guy, so country music's
yeah.
So who's your favorite country artist?
It's got to be the newer country, Thomas Rhett or Luke Combs as well.
Yeah, no, they're good. Newer country's good. I'm a Morgan Wallen fan. Some people don't think he's country, but Morgan Wallen's good.
I was listening to Morgan Wallen yesterday. Came out on the radio in the car.
Yeah, no, he's good stuff. And there's a bunch of other not huge guys. There's like Kip Moore. I'm not sure if you heard of him.
Yeah.
I like him, and so yeah, no, my playlist is 99% country and the odd. Young Gravy or whatever. So, but yeah,
same here. But country is definitely the way to go.
Right. No, it is for sure.
Metzie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. I want to wish you the best of luck with everything going forward, and I look forward to following your career the rest of the way.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's maybe do this again one day.